Hostile sensor reading detected. Movement detected. Interior appear. Target has disappeared.
Let's do this!
Destroyed. 4 o'clock. You're tuned to Minutemen Radio. All quiet across the
Life signs detected.
This is Radio Freedom. Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates. You're tuned to Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Son, you know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, The Institute rescued me.
Radio
Both
Freedom.
of us,
It's
really.
5 p.m. Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen.
They left me on ice. For 60 years.
They did. And for good reason. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit,
This is Radio
when I had
Freedom,
you released from Vault
broadcasting all
111,
day, all across the
I had
Commonwealth.
no expectations that you'd
Quiet,
survive
which is
out
how we
here
like it.
in
Stay
all
safe out
this.
there, people.
To not only do so, but manage to find
This
me.
is Radio Freedom,
To
broadcasting
infiltrate
all
the
day, all
Institute
across the
itself.
Commonwealth.
Extraordinary.
Nothing to report at the moment. Stay tuned for updates.
You could have let me out decades ago.
Until I became director, I had no idea you were there. And after, there was initially no logical reason to do so. Certainly, it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. With the Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else. Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
That's all this is to you? All I am to you? Just another experiment?
No, that's not all. But still, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Soon, I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future. A future which I hope is not in jeopardy after recent events.
Nothing to
Bunker
report.
Hill did not go
Keep it
well
tuned here
for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
It's my fault. I wasn't able to complete the mission.
I gave you this opportunity to prove yourself, particularly to prove to the Directorate that you deserve a place here. That will now be significantly harder. There will be accusations that you deliberately sabotaged the mission. Bunker Hill was to cement your place as a valuable asset to the Institute. It will now only raise suspicions. And to see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on. I will refrain from sharing the outcome with the Directorate for the moment. Things are already in motion that this would only derail. Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
getting dark out there, people. Stay safe. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there. This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe, people.
That should do it.
Here at Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise,
This is
internally
Radio
things are as
Freedom.
tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Nothing to report.
Yes,
Stay safe, people.
Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were.
This is
The
Radio
project
Freedom,
has been
broadcasting all
classified
day,
for quite
all
a long
across the
time.
Commonwealth.
Power is,
Nothing new to
as I'm
report.
sure you've seen above ground,
For Minutemen alerts.
a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. On our surroundings. That time is over. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's an understatement. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo.
You're listening to
Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes?
nothing to report.
Well,
Keep it tuned here for updates.
he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
Why would you joke about this? It isn't funny.
Were it a joke, I'd agree it's in poor form. But I'm afraid it's not. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I'm naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really? Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge
It's 9
without
p.m.
even asking first.
Sean,
Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
I don't want to run this place.
Are you so sure? You seem to have a natural talent for leading by example, getting things done. This will suit you. And I think we can both agree the Institute will need the guidance. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us. But for you especially, I know that you'll do the right thing.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing new to report. Keep tuned here for Minutemen alerts. This is Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Not a chance. I'm not doing anything.
Look, I get that there's a lot going on right now, and this is all moving pretty fast. You're not the only one that feels it. Fact is, this won't work unless we've got you. So take some time, mull it over, and get back to me, okay?
You're tuned to Radio Freedom,
Alec.
voice of the
Busy day
Minutemen.
for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to
Nothing
get busier.
report. Stay
You're
safe
gonna...
out there, everyone.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Consider it done.
I'll consider it done when I've got it in my hands. I'm going with you.
No way. You're not going. You'd be a liability.
Well, that's about the most insulting thing I've heard in a while. Okay, you're on your own then. Good luck. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and they'll get you over to mass fusion in a flash. Pun sort of intended.
This is Radio Freedom, voice of the Minutemen. It's just past 10 p.m. All quiet. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
This frame is driving me crazy. Got like 3 itches I can't even scratch.
Proctor Ingram, the Institute wants me to get something called a beryllium agitator from the ruins of mass fusion.
A beryllium agitator? I seem to remember reading an old technical document on those once, but I only thought they were theoretical. It must be pretty darn important if they're sending you to find one. You know, if we head over to mass fusion right now, we may be able to get the device before the Institute does. That's if you don't mind a little company, of course.
Seems like she could be pretty helpful.
It would be helpful if you tagged along.
I knew you'd see it my way. Grab whatever gear you need and meet me on the flight deck. But don't take too long. This could be our best chance at beating the Institute to the punch.
My duty shift was long, but I'm glad we're making a difference.
Yeah.
Roger that, Scabbard. We have clearance for release. You might want to hang on, sir. The drop can be a little rough.
Never could get used to flying in these things.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe.
Hostile target sighted on the roof, sir. Prepare to engage.
Damn synths, they're crawling all over the place. Send them out before we drop.